and welcome to Football is Life. I'm coming to you live from my studio here at footballvideos.com headquarters. I hope you like it. I've got some videos playing in the background for you if you'd like. If I get boring, which I won't, but if I tail off a little bit, you can always take a look at some of the games I have playing in the background here. And just to give you a feel of my videos and what I sell, up here we're looking at the 1982 Illinois versus Illinois game. Over here, we're looking at an Oklahoma game from the 50s. And there's also a game over here from Lebanon Valley versus Widener, 1991. Welcome, viewers, and welcome to my show. I am here to introduce to you my show called footballvideos.com, which is pretty much launched from my company, which is footballvideos.com, is launching the show Football is Life. And I'm here to tell stories and to tell you a little bit about my company. Real quick, a quick background of how this all got started. Back in 1980, I played football for Kutztown University. I had a great time playing there. I enjoyed my time playing football. It meant a lot to me. After my days playing, I got into executive management and I got into the working world. And about 10 years after working for other people and making other people money, I said, I've got to come up with an idea for myself to make me money instead of my bosses millionaires. I want to find an idea that I can do that I would enjoy. And at about that time in 1990, I was trying to develop business concepts. And one of those concepts was, hey, I would love to see my game films when I played. You know, in my head over and over. Maybe I'm a weird guy, but even 10 years after I graduated college, I would dream about my time at Kutztown. I would dream about those big games. In my dreams, there would be like, you've got another year. You still might be able to play. And I would rerun all this in my mind. So what all that kind of came to in 1990 was, you know what? I have an idea. I think if I get my game films, I would love to see them. And I would love to maybe get all of the game films ever played. So all of that is culminated over the last 30 years, and it ends up here at a new beginning, which is called Football is Life. So that's a little bit about how we got started here. And again, I'd like to welcome my watchers. I'm kind of excited looking at the clock here. I've got 8 people watching the show. Really exciting to see. Welcome, Jim Haberchak. Jim Haberchak is actually sponsoring this show today. Jim was a great running back. We're going to talk about him a little bit later. Who else am I seeing out in the crowd? Harnell Media, welcome. A real quick shout out to my man behind the scenes. I call him the Wizard of Oz. You might know him as Matt Haas. You might know him as All Things YouTube. But without Matt, there he is. Welcome, Matt. Say hello to the people. Yes, this is Thanks, Matt. And again, I couldn't do it without him. And he's my technical guy, and he's doing a great job. So let's kind of move on forward here, Matt. We're going to call on you for your first thing. Is there any chance that you might have a play of a guy that played football? Oh, I don't know, baby. Maybe back in 1980. Maybe a guy that played at Kutztown. Maybe a guy who was All American. You got any clips of a guy like that out there? I like to think that we do. So what we're going to be doing here, folks, real quick, we're going to put up some of my plays. And one thing I want you folks to understand about the show, this show is fueled by my website, which is footballvideos.com. And footballvideos.com is really all about the guy. That's 78, bud. That's Jimmy Haberchak. We'll get back to him later. We need some of my plays. I don't know it's going to be in that folder, sir. I think it might have been in an earlier folder. These are all the non-me videos. Um, but
That's
anyway,
what I got.
yeah. But here's the thing, folks. I played football. I enjoyed it. I love watching my game films and some of my great plays. And what I contend is that there's 2 million guys out there that have played college football since 1950. And I believe that those 2 million guys probably feel a lot about their college football career like I did. College and high school, basically, if you played football. So this whole thing, this whole show
Oh,
is,
here we go. This
here
is
we
your
go.
this is your
Yeah,
play.
and you could stay frozen here because, ladies and gentlemen, when you talk, I'm getting goosebumps right now because here's the deal. This is a freeze frame of the best catch and run of my college football career. I might even contend it's the greatest catch and run ever in the history of Kutztown University. But just for the heck of it, let me show you how much fun you can have by watching your old game films. Matt, hit that old play button and
This
see
is
what
me
number
back
80
in
does.
1980. Number 80 with the
A
best
play
catch
action
and run
pass,
of my
a
entire
catch in traffic. Look at
football
the
career.
first tackle
Look at the
avoided.
speed, the
Great
missed
block out there.
tackles,
Now
the
look at the
avoided
speed to
tackle.
separate
One more,
folks. And that
58
missed
yards. I
tackle
can't
there and a
watch
missed
this
tackle
enough.
there. And
How would you
59
like to
yards
see
later, I
your
blow out
games,
my
Oregon
mouthpiece.
football, and of course,
So
two
anyway,
loving and supportive
that
parents
is
who were
one of
always
my
there for
greatest
me.
plays, ladies and
This is
gentlemen. And
me
it's the
back
thing
in
that really has
1980.
charged my entire
Number
enterprise.
80 with the
I know
best
how much
catch
I'd
and
love to
run
see my
of
game
my
films,
entire
and I
college
know that
football
you'd
career.
love to see
Look
them
at the
too.
speed,
They're
the
all
missed
here
tackles,
captured.
the avoided
All of our
tackle.
game
One
films were
more,
captured on
58
film,
yards. I
okay?
can't watch
And
this
over
enough.
the last 30 years,
How
I've
would
been
you like to
collecting all of these films. What I'd like to do now is I'm going to turn to the Wizard of Oz and ask him to play for you just a little quick intro to give you another kind of intro of what I'm all about. And then we're going to talk about one of my most amazing customers. Can we see the video intro for Football is Life?
Coming up.
Coming up.
Here
Hey, Jeremy's out there. Welcome, bud. Here it comes, folks.
Football is life.
We need
Hi,
audio.
I'm WDR, and I have been collecting, preserving, and marketing America's college football game films for over 30 years.
Just a heads up, Willie, the audio is going out to the stream, but you can't hear it.
Oh, okay, good.
Over 20,000 people have bought my game films. One of them was Dr. Oz. See him here back in 1978 playing for Harvard. Hear his story about how he got to see his game films and show his friends and family his exploits on the field.
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah, that was
here's
cool.
here's the story, folks. I've had over 25,000 customers, and like I said, I've talked to a lot of people. I've had a lot of great stories. But what happens every now and again is I get a customer who is so awesome. I've just got to tell a quick story about him. You know, about 2 years ago, I was working here. That's all I do all day, believe it or not, try to sell football videos. And there I was sitting there one day doing my thing, and I saw an email come in for an order. Beautiful thing that I see on my email says Gateway. Somebody went to my site and bought an order, caught somebody in the lobster trap. And I look at this order form and I see a name, Memnet Oz. And I look at it, I'm like, how many Memnet Oz's can there be? Are you kidding me? Dr. Oz just ordered a video from me. So I looked, and sure enough, it was going to New York. It was a Harvard game. Dr. Oz went to Harvard. And I was so excited. I mean, here's Dr. Oz, a guy who right now is leading one of the biggest battles this country has ever seen. And he's a customer of mine. And I had to call him immediately. I called him right away when I got his order form. Sure enough, he was there. He said it. And I got a chance to talk to Dr. Oz. And it's absolutely amazing that he had things to say about football. You know, what Dr. Oz told me is pretty much the reason for my show here, and the reason for why I say football is life. Dr. Oz, you know, we talked, and I talked about the concept for the show, and he has said, as many of my customers has, the things that he learned playing football, the things that we learn playing football are those things that serve you well as you move on in life and do things. And, you know, it's kind of cool thinking as he's fighting this battle right now. I mean, he's certainly relying on his degree from Harvard. He's certainly relying on all of his innate knowledge, but a lot of the things that he learned in football, and he's told me the discipline, the teamwork, okay, the hard work. All right. And just looking at his game film. And so if it wasn't cool enough that he bought my game films, we communicated over email and phone calls for years. And believe it or not, Dr. Oz has got to a point where he's called me his friend. And for me to make a friend through my business and in the name of Dr. Oz is just so exciting. Bring me back to those plays here just one more time, Matt, if you would, because I would like to review some of his plays here. So I give Dr. Oz his plays.
There's a question in the chat. How much did Dr. Oz weigh? Says Jim Haberchat.
You know, Jim, it's so funny you should ask that. Because Matt, if you bring me back to the game film, can you loop that game film back? You're a very astute football guy, Jim. I noticed the same thing. He looked undersized, didn't he? He looked like he was getting pushed back. I didn't ask him how much he weighed, but yeah, let's watch this play. Let's review his film, and I do think he's a little undersized here, folks. If you can hit play there, Matt. I'm guessing he's 6'1", 190 is my guess. There he is, putting his weight in there. That's a pretty tough tackle there. Dr. Oz actually gave me these videos. So there's Dr. Oz now dropping back in coverage, kind of getting pushed around. If I'm not mistaken, look closely. They threw a flag against Doctor right there for holding. But yeah, Jim, how much did he weigh? I look at these videos and I see he's a tough ball player. And this is the play in particular. He's a tough ball player. Look at that. He's taking on a block. But yeah, I'm guessing 190 soaking wet, Jim. Soaking wet. So anyway, there's the thing on Dr. Oz. And after I talked to him, he was so excited about getting his games. He actually is the one that edited these films. He put that little circle around himself. And just so you know, folks, a lot of people played college football, and a lot of people have called up and ordered from me, and Dr. Oz was one of them. If you get a chance, and now or after the show, please check out my website, because if you played college football, if you know someone who played college football, you've got to check out my website, which is footballvideos.com. Go to the site. In the upper left-hand corner of the box there's a search box. You could type in there, 1980 Kutztown. And then, that's when I played. So when I played, I would go to my website. I would type 1980 Kutztown and hit enter. And we would get some results if we spelled Kutztown out all the way. I hate to do that to you, Matt. I should have given you another name. But just to give folks an idea of what the site is about, what this show is about, it all starts with you becoming a customer of mine. Become a customer, buy my games, and then tell me your stories. Like I said, I've been doing this for 30 years. All right, here we go. So, if I played, what I could do is look at that Bloomsburg 1980 game. That was a pretty good game for me. I could tell you stories about that one. But if I want to see the 1980 Bloomsburg game again, all I got to do is go there, add it to cart, check out, and bingo. The game is in my hands. You can do the same thing. One of the initial points I'd like to bring to you through my show today is my experience of me getting my game films and enjoying them can be your experience, and the experience of the people. How would you like to see your grandfather? Okay. How would you like to see your brother, your husband? Okay. Playing the game that they love so much. So, shout out to Dr. Oz, one of my amazing customers. So let's take a look in the chat room here. Who do we have? We have Mira Costa Football, Everett Pickens. Everett, stand by, buddy. I've got, and folks, what we're going to be doing as this show goes on, and I'm so excited to see some of these folks out there. I've got 17 now. Wow. The over-under is 50. Come on, talk to your friends. I want 50 people. And again, folks, this is my pilot. This is my first show. It's going to be replayed over and over on my site. Get in there. Tell me about your great games. Maybe the next show, I'll feature your games. But just to give you a preview for today's show, we've got folks like Jim Haberchak. We've got folks like Everett Pickens, who played for Purdue in 1982. And other folks who didn't play football but still love what I do. I have documentary filmmaker Jeremy Sadowski, who I worked with. He's out there in the audience. We're going to talk a little bit about him as we move further into the future. So as you're watching the show here, folks, realize this is more than just a live show. This is a channel. If you look through my channel, there's a lot of videos I'm putting out there. Number one, when this show is over, it's going to be canned into a half-hour show, and you can watch it over and over again. If you see stuff you like, and if maybe you're Jim Haberchak and we show one of your great runs, tell your friends about it so they can see it too. And then they're going to say, hey, I had a better run than that. And just a real quick intro here, guys. One of the things I'm going to be doing, this is one of hundreds of shows I'm going to be doing, hundreds of half-hour shows. And as this goes on, we're going to take little clips like you're going to see here, and then we're going to have like a little survey. We're going to say, here are 5 runs from my customers. Which one is the best? We're going to vote for the greatest catch and run on film, the greatest run, the greatest pass, all those things. We're going to have a blast here on my show. So again, please check out my site, footballvideos.com, because that's pretty much the engine of what this show is all about. And, just let me throw in here, I'm shooting from the hip. But another thing that I'd like to get across on some of my shows is I have learned a lot of lessons playing football. Okay, it's helped me tremendously in my life. I think it can help you. So what the heck? Even if you didn't play football, folks can watch this show and they can learn a lot of things that can help them in their lives. The show is called Football is Life. It's about football, but it's also about life. And what I'm going to try to prove as my show moves on here is the things you learn in football are those things that you take with you and you implement them in your lives, and they will benefit you greatly. So pretty soon we're going to get into some of these plays here, but real quickly, I want to talk about getting paid a little bit. As much as I want to entertain, and I do want to entertain, I got to get that mortgage paid. So I'm going to talk about something here real quickly, and I'm just going to pass it over to my guru, the Wizard of Oz, who's the guy behind the curtain here, and he's going to tell you about something called Patreon. Go, Matt. Patreon. I don't even know what it's mean.
I was muted there. Sorry about that. Hi, everyone. Patreon. Yeah, let's talk about Patreon. That is a website where you can set up a monthly reoccurring donation. $1, $2, $5 a month. Every little bit helps. And it will help Willie continue to make awesome, it's hard to point in the right directions, try to make awesome content for YouTube and to help run his business. I will put a link in the chat room if you want to check out the Patreon feed. There it is. And you could be a patron. It's easy to do, and you'll get access to perks. There's other things out there that you could do to help support the show. This one's free. You can go to the Football is Life videos Facebook page and drop a like on the Facebook page. That way, when content gets posted on the Football is Life Facebook page, you can be notified through Facebook. Hopefully, it'll show up on your wall. And finally, Football is Life has a email newsletter. So drop your email into this link, and when Willie puts together a newsletter chock full of awesomeness, and I've been on the list for a while now, and he's always highlighting vintage games and specials and deals. Don't miss out on the deals, and it's free. So just drop your, and all of these links, I just put them in the chat, but they're also in the description of this video. So if you're watching on YouTube, scroll down, and underneath the video will be a description box. All those links are there as well. So we've got the Patreon page, and we've got the Facebook page. Drop a like, that's free. And we've got the email newsletter. Put your email in there, good to go. And all of that helps the show. And that'll get more content coming to you. So there you go.
And also go to footballvideos.com, which is the big boy on the block, where you could buy any of your games. We're going to be entertaining you on this show here, and we're going to be telling cool stories. But in a way, sometimes you're going to have to pardon us because it's going to be kind of like an infomercial. And here's one of those shameless plugs. I'm wearing here, and Matt, I don't know if you have the video of a guy named Tommy McDonald out there. There's a short video. Not too many people know this, but there's a guy named Tommy McDonald. I don't know how much of you know about Oklahoma football. Oklahoma had a 55-game winning streak. Okay, they didn't lose a game for 55 games in a row. Tommy McDonald, who is now in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. There he is. Tommy McDonald was also a customer of mine, and Tommy gave me this hat. This is a signed hat from Tommy McDonald. I'm selling this for $40, okay? If you want a signed hat by NFL Hall of Famer Tommy McDonald, you can buy this. Let me know. I'll tell you how to do it. We can put a $40 SKU for you in the chat room here, and you can own this hat. I haven't worn it except for this show. But yeah, there's Tommy McDonald, one of college football greats. He's one of the few people who never lost a college football game. Think about that, folks. And that 55-game winning streak by Oklahoma will never be broken. And I mean never. So it's amazing. So here's hat, folks. Hats off to Tommy McDonald. Thanks, man.
How much would a hat like that go for, Willie? My goodness.
I know. If you try to get this on Amazon, it'll probably cost you twice that much. I just want to get something out there for my folks. This is a rarity, folks. This is a Hall of Famer, and unfortunately, Tommy's no longer with us. But his signature lives on here, and you can own this hat for $40. And if you're interested, you can call me or email me or whatever after the show. So
and there's only one, right?
There's only one, and there
oh
ain't
boy,
gonna
get
be,
on it, folks.
There ain't going to be any more. And you can, when you place that order, you can tell them that the king of college football sent you. Yes, Matt, I was going to wear the crown, not for long, but there it is. I am the king of college football game film. And now the king of college football game film is going to introduce to you a couple folks that are with us now in the chat room. And Matt, let us start off with the sponsor of today's show. We're going to go to 78. The Wizard's going to take us to clip number 78. But ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce for you now a clip from our sponsor. His name is Jim Haberchak. He went to my same high school. Jim is without a doubt freeze it there, Matt. Let's freeze it. Okay, let him go. Back him up. Yeah, hold on here. So anyhow, here's Jim Haberchak lining it up for Whitehall High School in 1978 against Peaburg. There he is in the I formation. Interesting thing about this play, he's going to go a long way. Let's let it roll. This is a 67-yard touchdown run. Jim, the speed you displayed here is unbelievable. Jim said he ran 4.6, but when the coach asked him how fast he ran, Jim said, I run 4.5 when people are chasing me. So run that again, Matt, in its entirety, and let's just get a feel for Jim Haberchak's speed here. I contend Jim is one of the best running backs to ever play at Whitehall High School, and this run here surely proves that. And the fun thing about these game films, folks, yeah, that's not how football games look nowadays, okay? It's not color, it's not three-angle, kind of rough, grainy footage, but this is true, historically correct footage of Jim Haberchak and his 67-yard touchdown run. Jim, thank you for sponsoring my show. For you folks out there, I'm looking for sponsors from every show. I even barter for sponsorship. It doesn't matter. But if you'd like to sponsor my next show, let me know. So, Matt, thank you for that clip there. Let her go one more. Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
I can do that. Cool. Whatever you need, buddy.
Let him go. Let him go. Let's just look at the celebration. Guys, when you score a touchdown, is there anything better in life? Okay, maybe scoring a touchdown is the second best feeling in life, but it's pretty damn good. And there was Jim back in 1978, a mere 32 years ago. Thanks for sponsoring us, Jim. And now, as I look out in the crowd, I also want to give a shout out to another customer of mine. Okay, hey, we're up to 19. Please, folks, there's still some time. Tell your folks to tune in. 19 is great. 19 folks watching, and I could see one of them out there is Everett Pickens. Okay, this is Everett Pickens, another one of mine.
Did you see Jim's comment there on screen?
What did he say? Don't forget, yeah, Saquon, the greatest ever. Yeah, okay, the second greatest, Jim. Yeah, Saquon Barkley. Anybody know Saquon Barkley? He also played at Whitehall High School. He went to my high school.
He also
Uh,
talked about the speech, the Hall of Fame speech.
uh, Tommy gave a great. Yeah, he did. He chest bumped, right, bud? Yeah. I remember that. Tommy McDonald was famous for when he got his Hall of Fame speech. He was chest bumping all over the place. He was an excited guy. Yeah. But yeah, Saquon Barkley, second best, Jim, at least. Although Paul Ziegenfuss, if you're out there, I know there's a lot of great running backs at Whitehall, but well, there's not too many great wide receivers, by the way, because Whitehall didn't pass the ball until about 2005. But back in 1976, I was a pretty good wide receiver at Whitehall myself. But that's another story for another show. Yeah, thanks, Jim. So anyway. Thanks, Jim. And the next person I want to give a shout out to now is another guy who's out here in the audience. His name is Everett Pickens. Everett, love you, buddy. He's a customer of mine. And by the way, I like all of these great relationships with Dr. Oz, and they start with an order. So go on out there and pick out some of your games. I'll give you a great deal. But let's get you to buy your games on video, and then tell me about your great games. Then I'll pop a play up here on my show. But anyway. Everett Pickens, Matt, he was the 1982 Illinois versus Purdue game. Everett Pickens is a great customer of mine. I appreciate that. And what I was able to capture for Eric is, and I think it's at 11 minutes in here. You have to go up to 11 minutes there, Mr. Wizard, and maybe freeze us right there on the 38-yard line. Yep, there it is. Freeze it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is another trip back in my football game film time tunnel. And this video quality is getting a little better, as you can see. Some video looks better than the others. I rate the picture quality on a 1 to 5. This is a 4.5. Jim Haverchak was about a 4.25, but still nice enough to look at. Here's the play, 1982, Illinois versus Purdue. This is Everett Pickens' first touchdown with Purdue. Roll 'em. And I'm going to review the film as it goes, Everett. If I'm not mistaken, the guy up top tries to jump off sides. No, that was the last play. Or maybe yes, this is him. There you go. Look at him go. He could go all the
Oh my goodness,
way.
that's incredible.
And the touchdown down. How excited were you there, Everett? Okay, and the teammates coming up. Folks, this is football, okay? This is life. Okay, how many times did you accomplish something in life and all your teammates came back up? Roll it back for us, Matt. We've got to see that again, and we are going to go over time, but so what? Like you said, this is.
We have some questions in the chat too.
Oh,
there was who was Everett's quarterback?
I think that was Tom Campbell, but Everett, if you're out there, if you could tell us who. I thought it was a guy named Campbell, Tommy Campbell.
And Miracosta Football asked, what was your 40 time back in the day, Willie?
Thank you so much for asking. I rarely get to talk about my 40 time. 4.52 as timed by the New England Patriots in my pro tryout. Yes, sir. 4.52, and it wasn't timed by my dad like Haberchek's 4.6. Just kidding, Jim. That's the thing about 40 times, folks. I mean, when your dad times you, you tend to go fast. I ran a legit 4.52 at the New England Patriots camp. Absolutely. And now I think, and you want to talk about 40, let's run this play again, Matt. I asked Everett if you could play this whole thing. Everett ran a 4.35 40. Now, for those of you that know, and watch it, and here it is. Watch this. This is what speed does. And that's the thing about speed. Speed kills. Everett, they never even got close to you. So anyway, folks, that's Everett. Everett Pickens, one of my great customers, turning into a great buddy of mine. And there's another thing that we're developing with Everett, and that is called my marketing and sales contractor program. Everett is not only a great football player and a great customer of mine, Everett is a marketing and sales contractor. All of you folks out there, just so you know, I am looking for folks to become marketing and sales contractors for my company. It's very simple. You work from home. You don't change anything. all you do is you try to tell other people about my game films, and you have them call up and order. And when you tell someone to order and they place $1,000 order, you get a 10% commission. So as a marketing and sales contractor, and we could probably show you how to get there on my site, but the marketing and sales contract,
It's
yeah,
We can pull that
7:30.
up. We did have a comment from Ron talking about Doug McLaughlin. 90 and 91 has to be one of the greats at Whitehall.
what position did he play, Ron? By the way, hello to Ron out there, Ron D. Maria. He's another great customer of mine, Ron. You know I love you, man. He went to Widener, and I understand maybe there's some other pioneers checking in. Thanks for that, Ron. Yeah, I don't know Doug McLaughlin. I wonder if Jim does. He's after our time. And you know, folks, when you leave your high school, like you don't even know who was there after. This guy was here way after me. Um, you want to talk about some greats at Whitehall, some great players. How about Matt Millen? I played with Matt Millen. There's another guy, I don't know his name. He played for the Patriots. And I guess Doug McLaughlin was also another great at White. A lot of good ball players came out of Whitehall High School. Like I said, Saquon Barkley, Matt Millen, I mean, say no more. But yeah, thanks, Ron, and it's good to see you out there. Um, and thank you, Jeremy, for asking about my 40 time. Don't get to talk about that too much. Thank you. And yeah, Jim, I was faster than you, no doubt. No doubt. Even when someone was chasing me, because I do understand what you're saying, man. We all run faster when someone's chasing us. And that's kind of a lesson in life, isn't it? It's like at your job, when there's someone else competing, football is life. And maybe it's kind of like when there's somebody pushing you, you might do a little bit better. So there's a lesson learned for today also about how football is life. And then real quick, so thank you, Everett. And also, folks, if you want to go to my site and look into becoming a marketing and sales contractor, again, this is an entertaining show, but it's also kind of an infomercial. And I do want to sell my soap. I have to do that shamelessly because I have to pay the mortgage. So, yeah, go out there and become a marketing and sales contractor. You not only get me sales for at their game films, like maybe we can get Mira Costa's game films as a client of mine. I don't know, Jeremy. You tell me, but I'm looking for more games. There are 600 games. There are 600 schools that have played college football since 1950. 600 schools. 100 of them are clients of mine with signed, sealed agreements. There's 500 other schools out there that I'd like to get. As a marketing and sales contractor, what you do is you go out to those schools. Maybe your brother-in-law is the athletic director at Kent State. Tell them about my site. Tell them about my service. Tell them about my show, okay? And then he can hook me up with all of Kent State's football game films. I put them in my inventory, I list them on my site, and I sell them. So yeah, the marketing and sales contractor, go to my site and find out about that. And again, this here is a look at my website. I like my website. I take a lot of grief from the tech people I know in my life that say this looks like 1990. I know this site looks like 1990, but it's extremely functional. You could spend 4.5 weeks going through this site. You still wouldn't read it all. You still wouldn't see all the games. There's 50,000 game films listed here. So if you or someone you know played, have them check out the site and buy their games. And you never know. Their play, if they become a customer, their play just might show up on my TV show, like did Jim's today and like did Everett's. And again, you guys, I thank you for participating.
Really, we have some comments out here in the chat. We have from Miracosta Football. I have the last 21 seasons of Miracosta football games. 21 seasons. That's crazy.
Boom. All I could say to that, Jeremy, is boom. Here's what I do, folks. All those game films are sitting in the attic or a closet gathering dust, okay? There's rodents running over them. There's spider webs. Nobody cares about these game films. But there is someone who cares about those game films. And he is the king of college football game films and high school. So bring them on. You become a client of mine. The school gets 10% of the net sale. The school turns a non-performing asset into a performing asset. Everybody wins, which is one of the business concepts of my business. Back in 1988, when I was working for a collection agency, collecting defaulted student loans, and my office collected about $20 billion in 1 year, and my company made $1 million in profit. Okay. That was kind of cool. And that idea, that business idea, is what kind of pointed me to, hey, there's another way to make money in this world, and it's doing something you like. And that could be, let's get all these game films, let's organize them, preserve them, transfer them from film onto digital format or DVDs. I used to sell them on VHS, and let's put those games back in the game. Jeremy, bring me that high school. And again, everybody out there that's watching this show live or maybe record it, check, uh, contact me and tell me about your school. I would still love to get big schools like Tennessee, Alabama. I don't have those schools, but I do have clients like Texas, TCU, Purdue. I just did $150,000 archival deal with Purdue. So, lots of games out there, and if you can help me find them, I would greatly appreciate it. Thanks for that. Thanks for your comment.
Did you see Jim's comment, but about the greats?
Yeah. Okay. So Jim said the greats are Ziggy Bonchak. Absolutely. Yeah. Jim, you know what we need to do, Jim, and we're going to do it on this show. Okay. Ziggy should be on the show, but he's not. He will be. Ziggy's a good buddy of mine, and he was a hell of a running back. And what we need to do, Jim, and hey, we're going to make it. We'll do it in one of our next shows. I think Ziggy was a great running back. I heard Bonchak was insane. Of course, Saquon. There are probably others. And we don't have to just talk running backs. I mean, you know what I want to talk about. You know, the greatest wide receiver to ever play at Whitehall. Okay. And let's get the stats out, Jim. I would love to see the stats, carries. Um, yeah. Ziggy, Bonchak. I heard of all those guys. Think of anyone else, Jim? I don't know. Running backs. There's a lot of great ones. I can tell you one thing, and I'd like to give a shout out here. And Matt, we're going to go way over a half hour, so that's
okay.
fine,
We've got
right?
two more
Yeah.
videos to show, I believe.
Yeah, we're almost done. But I gotta give a shout out right now on this show live. One of the greatest quarterbacks that ever played at Whitehall High School is Bobby Cole. Okay. Bobby was my quarterback. Okay. And a shout out to Bobby right now. Okay. Bobby is one of the few people on the face of the planet, and certainly in America, who as a quarterback has never lost a high school game and has never lost a college game. He was a national championship in college, and he was my quarterback at Whitehall High School in 1976, and he was the greatest. And that's just a shout out to Bob. I'm not going to say any more, but hey, man, God bless you. Yeah, great quarterbacks, great receivers, great running backs. Hey, there's no tougher defensive player that ever played at Whitehall than Matt Millen. And Matt Millen's story, okay, we're going to tell Matt's story. I would love to get him here. I played with Matt Millen, the toughest man I've ever known, the greatest football player I've ever known. So, yeah, guys, we're going to talk about no one would cover. Yeah, the P-Berg game. Don't get me started. Yeah, in the ice, Jim. Jim's talking about the greatest game I ever played. A game that if I could find you talk about game films, folks. I cannot find the 1976 Whitehall versus P-Berg game. I will pay anyone that can deliver me that game film, which includes the last 4 minutes of the game. I will pay you $1,000 for that game film. So you want to talk about the value of my game films. To me, if I could get the game film of the game, really just the last 4 minutes, in which I had 4 catches for 125 yards and a 77-yard touchdown, took my team from being down 7-0 with 2 minutes left in the game. I made 4 catches, 125. Yeah, I would love to get that game. But that actually, if I get that game film, I'll pay you $1,000, and I want to do a movie on it, because straight up, it was the greatest high school game ever played. I won't get into that now, but thanks for bringing that up, Jim. The game was played in 0 degrees. It was for the league championship. We were 8-0. those guys were like 8-0, 2, or they might have lost one. It was a big game, and we were about to lose it with 2 minutes left. And I'll get into that game later on, but yeah, the greatest high school game ever played. Thanks for bringing that up, Jim. That was my greatest play ever. And yeah, folks out there have the same thing. And that's what we're all about here, footballvideos.com, guys. Go to my site, tell your friends about it, have them buy my games, have them tell me their stories, and then we're going to come here live on TV, and we're going to yuck it up about some of that stuff. So why don't you put me back in place here, Matt? What do we want to talk about now as we start shutting down the show?
Purdue, and we've got the
We got
Texas.
the Purdue game already. That was Everett.
Okay, the Texas.
Yeah, let's
versus-
do a quick shout out now to the 1956 Texas versus USC game, and I want to give another shout out here to my man Jeremy Sadowski, who is a documentary filmmaker. I bumped into him a few years ago, helped him put together a really cool film. But what Jeremy's doing for me is he's producing really cool things that you can only see on my website. If you look on my channel, there's a section, a playlist called College Football Classics. What you're seeing on your screen now, and you can roll it, Matt.
That's on your YouTube channel.
This game, yeah. I emailed you the clip of this game. Yeah, it's on screen. Yeah, it looks like it. Texas, yeah. You can just roll this action. But what Jeremy's doing for me is he and I are producing little pieces. They're just little 3-minute tidbits, but they're college football classics. We're taking games never really seen before. Like if you look at this game film, nobody has this game film but me. This is my game film. And the footage in here is classic. In this particular classic, and watch this play here, folks. And I know the quality's not the best, but watch this run. Jim, you want to talk about a great running back. Most guys are down right there. This is C.R. Roberts, the first black guy to ever play football in the state of Texas. This is 1956. This is C.R. Roberts. And yeah, breaking down barriers. You want to see a guy breaking down barriers. His name was C.R. Roberts. And here he goes again. Look at the speed to the outside, by the way. Who can turn a quarter? These are guys on Texas seeing running backs do things they've never seen before. Again, back in my football game film time tunnel, this is 1956. But this is the first time a black running back has ever played in the state of Texas. Okay? I mean, can you imagine a time where that would be? And what we're going to do through College Football Classics is we're going to revisit these awesome moments in football history. And Jeremy's going to help me produce them. If you go into the channel, you'll see many different clips. He highlights many different games in ways, and his special. Look at this run. This is this guy had 4 touchdowns in this game. So imagine you're coming into a state in which someone like you has never played before, and you march in the stadium, you put up 250 yards on Texas, okay, one of the best schools in the country, and you have 4 touchdowns, and they take you out in the fourth quarter, okay? So amazing stuff. This is a prime example, okay, of the amazing stuff I have on video, okay, and that you can see at footballvideos.com, and that we're going to celebrate here maybe once a week. We'll see how often I could walk this high wire, but you'll see it at my site. You can see the whole video. You could see cool pieces on my channel here. And I also recommend, I don't know if you can get there, Matt, and I know I'm really swinging. So you could take off this clip here, but I also have something called the Football Video Network, which is a network on my site where you can go to and you can watch full game films online on my site. And just so you know real quick, you could watch my game films. You can get them on DVD. You can get them on a thumb drive. I could Google Drive them to you, or you could watch them on the Football Video Network. There you go, Matt. Yeah, click that. All you do to watch your game is you subscribe. You click on that button there, and I'm guessing you're not. If you're subscribed, you will see a list of games there, and you will click and watch them. So anyway, thanks, Jeremy, for your work on the College Football Classics. Check them out there, folks. It's never before seen stuff before. You'll learn things about the history of college football you have never known. Duke Washington was the first in 1954 college. Yeah, oh, he was the first. Cool. CR was the sorry, Jeremy. Yeah, CR Roberts was the second African American that played in Texas. Duke Washington was the first in 1954. And he's on College Football Classics. There you go. Nice tie-in, Jeremy. So yeah, keep an eye out for Jeremy's work. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Everett. And folks, we didn't even get it to it today, but really, I mostly wanted to prep something, and then I'll let you guys go. Yeah, there's Sparky. Sparky.
Thought I'd throw that in there.
Yeah, I wonder if Jim's probably got one of those every they made those for. So thank you guys for all of this. But one of the things that's coming down the pike, I have interviewed Rudy. If you look at my channel, you're going to see little clips coming out. We had an amazing opportunity to talk to Rudy like I'm talking to you. Oh, there's the Harvard. There's actually Dr. Oz, his team picture at Harvard. Yeah, Dr. Oz, go Dr. Oz. But we're also have a feature coming on Rudy. I did about an hour's worth of footage with Rudy, and Rudy's going to tell us a story from the Thursday before the game right up until his sack. We're going to review the film. He's going to tell us what he thought, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So check out my channel for the Rudy clip 1 and 2. They're going to be coming out in a series. We'll be talking to them on my show. I hope to have Rudy on my show here in the future. But here's a little piece of homework. We're at 45 minutes and we'll shut this down soon, Matt. Thank you all for your patience. I went over time just like I knew I would. But
November 8th,
here's your homework for the next show.
It's the internet, Willie. There is no time end. We can go on as long as we want.
I know. Don't you just love it? Here's your homework for my next show. And what else do you got to do? Watch the Rudy movie, okay? You want to find what movie to watch? Well, watch the Rudy movie, okay? Watch the whole thing. I've watched it again. I watched it in 1995, and I watched it a couple days ago. It's a little outdated because it's 93, but it's still very cool. Still the most inspirational thing you'll ever see. And as far as my title, Football is Life, I don't know if football can teach you a better life than what the movie Rudy taught us all. You know, what does it teach you? I mean, maybe you're not the best, all right? Maybe a lot of people say you can't accomplish what you want to accomplish, okay? But with hard work, determination, a little bit of guile, a lot of smarts, and a real good ability to get along with people, amazing things will happen. So here's your homework. Watch the Rudy movie. Okay. And then what we're going to do in episodes coming up, we're going to have a fun little thing with Rudy. We'll go over his sack, but we're going to do another feature where we're going to show you, Rudy himself says that 92% of the movie was true and 8% was false. Well, I'm going to do a fun piece with Rudy, and he's going to tell us what was true about the movie and what was false. And he's told me some of these things. First of all, I can't believe some of the things that were true. I mean, it just shows you how amazing the movie is. And I'm kind of shocked at some of the things that were false, but we're going to have fun with that. We're going to have fun with America's college football history. I thank you guys for logging in and watching this show. It was great spending time with you. And remember, you can watch this show over again in about 10 minutes if you want to. If you enjoyed it, share it with your friends. You'll see me coming up on Facebook giving links to this show, but hopefully as folks hear about what we're doing here, they'll tune in. We'll share a lot of stories. We'll have a lot of fun. There is no sports in America right now. So maybe it's a great time to review the film. Football is Life.
Let me get some marketing in here if I could.
Yeah.
So please like this show. There's a like button underneath the video player. Please hit that thumbs up button. And there's a subscribe button. If it's red, click it. It'll turn gray and it'll say subscribe. Do you want that? And a little bell will pop up. If you click the bell, you'll get notified the next time something happens on this YouTube channel, like more Rudy videos post. We have 2 posted, but there'll be many more hitting the channel soon. And you want to watch that interview. It's all these clips that are about to hit the channel. There's the link to the first Rudy video. So get on it, please. And there's a Facebook page, Patreon, and the email newsletter. Definitely subscribe to that email newsletter, because that way you'll never miss anything that's happened. That's the email newsletter, and the link is in the description of the video. All right.
Thanks, Matt. So anyway, here comes the close, folks. Thanks for watching. Check out my site, footballvideos.com. Stay tuned for my next show, Football Videos, Football is Life, and check out the site, footballvideos.com. And remember, the older you get, the better you were. Thanks.